Hey everybody, Sarah back in Valheim, and I recently put out a poll about what I should do for my next video. And the winner of that poll was another tutorial. The one that kind of came in second place was a boss fight, and then the third choice was something else, but nobody was really super specific about it. So what I decided to do, something I've been thinking about doing for a while, is doing a tutorial and fighting the Elder. So what I'm going to do is what I typically do with an Elder location. I'm going to show you how I build a base underneath of this platform, and it may wind up being 2 videos just because I don't have the ability to time-lapse this for you, so this is going to be done in real time. But I'm going to show you how I do it, and then when I finish building at least the basic structure, I may not have it all decorated, but when I finish the basic structure, we'll go ahead and we will fight the Elder. So this location that I found for the Elder has this edge of the Elder portal, or summoning stones, or whatever you call these things, right up against an edge here, which is super convenient because then I can burrow straight in without having to dig down first, which is really convenient. So I'm going to start on this corner. The first thing that I try to do is I try to go straight towards the flame in the center. So I'm going to dig this down a bit here so that I can get underneath without banging against the, like that. There we go. And then I'm going to dig just straight in towards the flame in the center, the fire. So once I get to that center part, I'll show you how I measure out where to dig and how far I typically dig out to build this. And if you've watched us on Valheim, this is exactly how I did this. This world that I've chosen to do this in, and there's the fire. The world that I've chosen to do this in is the same map seed that we are using for the Valheim. So I'm going to just go ahead and just dig all the way down right here as far as it'll let me go. Now typically when I'm putting the walls up, the distance between how far it'll get me down and how far the top or the altar is usually about, pull out the right thing here, 2 high of these. So I'll take 2 of these high plus 1 of these blocks high. That's typically how high it winds up being, which is plenty of space to have your character be able to move around. So now that I'm at the center, I'm going to tell you my little trick. So when you're digging underneath of the boss, you'll see, if you look up, there's squares on the altar. And so if you pay attention to the squares on the, take this out a bit here, on the altar, you'll see there's a lowered section right here. So what I typically do is I dig out underneath of this lowered section for sure, this entire section under here. But then I try to dig no more than 2 of the blocks out from that center lowered square. So there's the square. We're going to dig out this way a bit. And if you've like I said, seen us on Valheim, you'll see that I have loads of space in here. I was able to create enough space for 3 small bedrooms, 1 for each of us. I was able to do a fully upgraded kitchen, and I was able to do fully upgraded work area, both for the regular benches and for the Michelins benches. And I even have a little hallway for storage. So anyway, I don't have a headlight. So I'm just going to set the time of day here because I don't have one of the headlights for this character. So we're just going to set the daytime. So right now I am 1 block out from that lowered section. So I want to go out 1 more block this direction. Okay, so that's 1.5-ish. Now, if you get lucky, the straight lines will follow the altar above you. In this case, I'm not going to get so lucky. So right now, I'm getting close to that 2 squares out. And my walls, the dirt walls, are going to be all sorts of janky. So that's about 2 squares out. If you look up, you'll see there's the raised corner. There's 1, 1, 2 that way. Anyway, it should work out fine. So because my I don't know what they call them, the grid, that when you dig out these straight lines, the grid is not going to match up with the altar itself. So my dirt walls, when I'm finished, are going to be all sorts of janky, but you can hide them behind the stone walls that I put in. So this is why I'm thinking this might wind up being 2 videos, because this takes a bit to do, and because I don't have the technology to do the time lapse. This is like not super exciting for you guys to watch. So I would have to stop the video and alright, so let's see. There's the raised edge. So there's 1, and you'll notice that the second block out, so that one's flat, and this one slopes slightly. Okay, so that's the edge of the altar right there. That's why you don't want to go out much more than that, because if you go out much more than that, you start getting gaps and holes, all sorts of fun things going on upstairs. Oh, my pickaxe broke. Alright, this character does not have all of the high gear. I mean, I'm still rocking honey and mushrooms and stuff with this character. So, see how the sides are all kind of janky. But I'm following the lines above me, so I could probably go out 1 more block. Now, the thing is depending on how big you want to make this, you could literally push everything right to that very edge and just build. I like to kind of have them be in like compartments. Alright, so now we're getting to the other side of the altar. Okay, so now there's the edge. So we're 1, 2, oh, now I've got a little gap, see. Went a little bit too far. Anyway, So this is the process for which now sometimes when you find these altars, the land isn't completely level underneath of it, or it might be where you get a certain distance down and you get water in here. I happen to know because, again, this is a seed I'm doing on Valheim, that this elder location would be fine for digging. Let's see, there's the edge. Yeah, we're good. But I like to do this, and then I also like to do my portal hubs up on top. And I typically do them in creative mode because they take a ridiculous amount of iron. I have done them only once in vanilla, and that was because it was just so much iron. I was like, no, I won't do that one without creative mode again. Yeah, so that one there, that wall is going to line up nicely, nice and straight. I should not have dug that far back. I could take this and fill it back in a bit. And then straighten all this back out so that I have a nice straight line on this side if I wanted to. But those little gaps are, oh, see, it's gonna do it again. Anyway, the little gaps are pretty easy to disguise, because the altar uses the kind of the same blocks that we use. All right, paying attention. I'm still okay. There's the corner, I think. But anyway, yeah, I build a portal hub up on top, and I use iron, and I typically go 3 to 4 iron beams above the columns that you find on the altar, on the elder's altar. So I typically go like 3 or 4 beams above, iron beams above the elder altar's height. I don't know if I'm saying that so that makes sense. But because the elder columns are indestructible, it makes for a nice portal hub. And you can get up there and you can do it without dev commands. It is tricky and lots of scaffolding and death if you fall off, because it is very, very, very high. And anybody who's watched me play knows I'm not a big fan of high. When I'm flying around in dev commands, I don't look at the ground typically, and it helps to be able to build up nice and high. When you're doing things like that. Oh, broke again. Alright. Alright, so ideally, if you find a good location for this, your ground's going to be fairly level at the bedrock level. So when you dig this out, you don't have to do a whole lot of leveling. You don't always get so lucky. Sometimes you wind up with a slope, so you lose some of the height, or you wind up with water, and so you lose some of the height as well because you can't dig as deep, or some reason you don't get the full amount of height that you can get with the elder location. Alright, so we're still good. But yeah, this particular one, like I said, I knew from doing it in this world that it was going to be fine. I'm going to take a break from that for a minute, and I'm going to show you so what I typically do is I'll find a corner and I'll scoot one of these blocks. See where it kind of starts to climb up the wall. I'll scoot one of these blocks back there to that point, and then I'll put 2 rows of these in, like so. Oh, maybe it's 3. Maybe I am misremembering. That happens. That's what happens when you get old. And if you don't have dev commands, you're going to have to use scaffolding to get this layer in. So 3 of those, and then you'll be able to get one of these layers in. And this will get you can see when I move around, I'm like right at the top here. So you can get all the way up to the very top. So that's going to be your height. So you can do, I typically try to evenly split the height between floor levels. So it's actually gonna probably be about the height of this bottom here, because if I put this piece of wood on the ground, it's pretty close to the height of this bottom level. So you've got what are these, 2? So 2, 4, 6, 7. So you want to kind of split it at about the 3.5 meter-ish mark. So this is 2. That's going to be 3. So like right into here. I just kind of eyeball it. I don't actually measure it out because I don't need to. And then after I put a couple of these floor pieces in, what I like to do is like go and stand and see how the head space feels. So if I stand here, does that feel too short? And that's plenty of head space, right? So put the floor in down here, and you can see this character has plenty of head space down here. I'm actually going to lower those a little bit because they are floating. Can you see that? But yeah. So I'll hit the shift button and then kind of scoot these back up under there a little bit. Like that. So that they're sitting fully on the ground. But yeah, so that gives you loads of headspace for the lower level and loads for the top. The trickiest part is getting the fire all the way through. Because you would think, standing under this, that you'd be able to put like enough of a house in here that you could use just that. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. I always wind up having to put some kind of fireplace or some kind of, like if I dig out that corner, right? And put a fire over there. I can use that hole up there as ventilation. But I found, if I do this right, that I can dig past. So let's look at this one. So say I want to put the fireplace right here. Okay, I'll have to take 2 of them out because I don't want my pickaxe whacking on that brick there. So what I'll do is I'll dig back, because if you'll remember, I still have a little bit of space before I hit the actual edge. Not a lot, but a little bit. Okay, so now I'm like right at the edge of it. Here's the thing. That's this. If you dig this out, say I dug this way a little bit. What happens is see, now I've done too much. The smoke will diffuse in that space. I don't know if it's because the altar is porous enough or what, but I have found that if you take and dig this out just a little bit, okay, those gaps are fine. I can live with those. Alright, so you dig them out just a little bit, and you take and you put your hearth in here, right? And of course you gotta fix it so that it doesn't like smoke into your main area here. So I'm gonna plunk a couple of these little guys up. These make nice arches over your mantle. Anyway, plunk a couple of those up, and you put that in there. The fire will diffuse back up in the area behind the wall, and I don't get any smoke ventilation or bleed over up here typically, because it's touching the altar. It's fully touching the altar up there. So that's my little trick for getting fire all the way throughout the base that I built under here. So that's typically how that goes. I might even add another little bit down here just to finish sealing that off a little bit, because it does have a little bit of a gap there. And so you can also do that with like bedrooms and kitchens. So when I built the kitchen on Weisheim, I left a little bit of space. So this is only out one, so now I have extra space here. So I'll just dig this to the edge, but I'll bring this forward enough that I can sink the kitchen back a ways. So that's how I do that, is I pay attention to how much space I have on the top up there, where the lines are at. Then I, like I said, create the 2 different levels by using the wood on the ground and kind of finding a spot here. Now, this fireplace is too big. This floor is going to run right across that. This was just to show you guys, but you get the idea. These are going to have to come down. I'm going to have to put probably this much of a stone in there. Okay. Why are you being difficult? Okay, fine. Anyway. So that'll come down like that, and then that'll be my height for my floor and for my fireplace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this the end of this video. And I am going to finish digging this out, and I will stop when I get it all dug out and ready for actually like building the base. But you guys get the idea enough. I think that you probably wouldn't even need to see that part of it, but I will show you how I do it and how I finish this off. But for now, I'm going to call that the end of this video, and I hope you have a good one wherever you are in your day.